The impact of Mary Shelley's novel Frankenstein can be seen all around us, and unlike many works of literary merit, this work today and throughout most of the last 200 years resonates most in popular culture. Its impact can be seen not just in serious dramatic interpretations on stage and in film, but also in cartoons, children's shows, horror movies, Halloween costumes, and across all areas of mainstream culture. The image of Frankenstein is recognizable to almost everyone living in 21st century Western civilization from the age of 2 to the age of 99. In the United States, it is almost impossible to engage in any type of Halloween activity without literally running into the world's most recognizable monster, Frankenstein. It is easy, therefore, to dismiss Frankenstein as wonderful entertainment with engaging and clearly unforgettable and influential characters. It is my hope, however, that a deeper eco-critical reading of Frankenstein could have as ubiquitous an impact on humanity's view of nature and the monstrous as it has had on Halloween costumes and popular culture. According to Jonathan Culler's definition of eco-criticism shared in his book Literary Theory, most narrowly, eco-criticism is the study of literary representations of nature and the environment and the changing values associated with them, especially evocations of nature that might inspire changes in attitude and behavior. More broadly, it is an interdisciplinary investigation of the wide range of forces that affects the human relation to the environment, many of which are reflected in literature. Despite alpine and polar landscapes, tempestuous weather, stormy seas and lakes, and unnatural monstrosities, however, very few have looked at Frankenstein through an eco-critical lens. Given the powerful natural forces which play such a predominant role in the novel Frankenstein, it seems an obvious choice for an eco-critical analysis. Victor Frankenstein's drive to create life and perform the godlike birthing of a monstrous imitation of humanity, and Robert Walton's commitment to cross the Arctic Ocean and be the first to reach the North Pole both reflect a quintessential cultural view of nature and man's role in relation to nature that virtually demand an eco-critical investigation. An eco-critical reading of Mary Shelley's Frankenstein will not only add to our understanding of the 19th century view of nature and science as represented by Shelley, but also is an unparalleled opportunity to gain a deeper understanding of the underpinnings of our modern philosophical stance on nature and our ongoing interactions with the planet, and thus better engage people in responding to our current ecological crisis. Given that the potential for eco-critical wealth to be found in Frankenstein has barely been tapped, this research is particularly timely and necessary. The shutters had been drawn back, and with a sensation of horror not to be described, I saw at the open window a figure the most hideous and abhorred. Throughout the novel Frankenstein, and clearly evidenced in this quote, Mary Shelley paints a graphic and emotionally charged impression of how we humans respond to the unaccustomed and unnatural. The creature is hideous and abhorred, inciting sensations of horror from the moment of his birth. Challenging our discomfort with what it means to be different and expanding our understanding of what we intuitively consider to be natural. The creation of the monster, the drive to arrive at the North Pole, among many other themes in Frankenstein, offer much in terms of challenging us to look more closely at the instinctive, certainly not intellectual approach we have taken and continue in large part to take toward nature and the unnatural. Although almost too obvious, the dark and ominous tone Shelley establishes throughout her novel when she draws the reader's attention to nature and natural forces certainly demonstrates an attitude toward nature as something to be contained and dominated. Time and time again in this novel, as well as in dramatic interpretations of this novel, nature and natural phenomenon are threatening, ominous, out of our control, powerful, intimidating, forces to be reckoned with and harnessed. Clearly, Shelley masterfully wields literary elements such as personification, tone, vocabulary to produce a dark, intimidating, threatening effect. The clouds are swifter than the flight of a vulture, not an eagle or a hawk. And the tone is irretrievably and undeniably established by the vocabulary, violent, dimmed, and restless. This immediately raises the question why. Why is nature throughout Frankenstein, the Arctic, the weather, the ocean, the mountains, portrayed as inhospitable, inhabitable only by monsters, domineering and frightening? This leads directly to an overall understanding of humanity's fear of nature and natural elements and our desire to take control. This novel also forces us to wrestle with the line between life and what it means to be living, and death and what it means to be dead. Many deaths and interactions with the dead occur in the novel Frankenstein, and this raises further questions worthy of pursuit. How do we define life and the living? Through an ecocritical lens, expanding our understanding of the living and the dead, through a closer look at where these lines are drawn in Frankenstein, could lead us to a clearer and deeper view of the nature of the living, breathing planet that surrounds us and how we relate to it.